What's up, everybody? Christopher Harris here from filmandgamecomposers.com, and starring with me is my dog Rupert, who is snoring in the other room, so I apologize if you can hear him. This is part 2 of my review for Embertone's inexpensive library catalog. In this video, I will be covering the remaining libraries, which include their percussion instruments as well as their freebies. First up in their percussion line is their Jug Drums Complete. Jug Drums Complete is a deeply sampled group of 5 different sized jugs with over 6,000 samples. This library is one of their largest libraries as far as content goes and offers around 20 NKIs. What is also great is that it is quite light on the hard drive, as it comes in at just under a gigabyte in size. You'll need the full version of Kontakt 4.2.4 or higher to use it. I will be using the most current version of Kontakt 5. Users have control over 4 different playing styles, as well as mic positions and effects. I'm going to load up the alto jug drum here. As you can see, we have a mixer portion here for microphones, as well as you can turn reverb on and off, turn on the random round robin, as well as edit the arpeggio machine here. Okay, due to the sheer size of this library, I'm going to demonstrate a few of the instruments so you can get an idea of the sound. Also, there's a free sort of demo version of this available on their site that includes just the soprano jug drum that you can see here. Within this library, you will also get a group of affected instruments, which I'll go through as well. So let's just check this out. The basic percussion library here is, as you can see, is just mapped, and you get all these kind of basic hits. You can see there, so you can get all these different kind of timbres and just different styles of playing. If you turn on the arpeggiator and we can go to edit mode, we can hear what that is. And so they have a list of awesome presets, up to 50 it sounds like, that definitely give you a good starting point as far as rhythms go. And then you can adjust again as the type of how it's played, up or down as you play them. And then you can also adjust the velocity, range, and the tightness of it, and as well as the different steps that you want involved. So again, this is the general GUI for this whole library. So let's go to the bass jug drum here. And the thing that is interesting is that these are all kind of different sized jugs, but they don't necessarily have like a huge low end sound with some of the hits. Like there's a little bit of the bass presence, but when you get into kind of the softer, you get more of the lower quality of the instruments. So let's turn on the reverb and the random round robin, and then also let's listen to the mics by themselves. So that's the close mic. Let's listen to the mid. And then the far. Sorry, I should have had the reverb turned off so you can kind of hear it. So let's do that again. Let's listen to close. A lot more of the low end character there. The mid, a little bit more of a room presence, and then the far. There you go. And that's the bass jug and the microphone preset. So here's the contrabass jug drum, and they, you can play with the mix a little bit. I like to do a little bit of the close and a little bit less of the far there. Turn on the random round robin here. you can definitely do some pretty big, epic sounding drum stuff. Here's the soprano patch. Now this is what you can get for free off of their website, so I'm not going to be covering this later in this video, as you can see here. So here you go. Let's yeah. These are also tempo synced, so you can play with that. And then lastly, we have the tenor, I believe, yes, the tenor drum here. So that kind of concludes just the basic kind of percussion side. Now they also have created pitch instruments, and I'm not going to go through all of these for the sake of time, but let's just take a quick listen at kind of how these sound. So they've got it mapped for the different timbres, and then those are pitched, so you can kind of cool effects there. So that's just the alto drum. You can go in and definitely check out some more of those. So here are the affected. Now, again, much like some of the other ones I showed you previously in the first video, this is kind of the same kind of concepts here, where they've gone in and they took the samples that they did and then manipulated them to give some really cool sound effects. So let's just play through this. Mod wheel, because that'll do some type of effect. As you can hear, it gets glitchy, like wobbly, and then super glitched. Definitely fun stuff there to play with. And now let's go to the conspiracy drum mod wheel. Let's bring the mod wheel down. If you hear any popping or stuff, that's my audio interface with the video creation, so I apologize for that. And let's go to the next one. We have the Demon Matrix Fly Wasp Nightmare, and that basically characterizes moving the mod wheel from down to all the way up. Which, yeah, to me, that's just nightmare. Let's hear it with the added arpeggio. There you go, that's the Demon Matrix Fly Wasp Nightmare patch. This one's nostalgia, and I kind of rather like this one. Kind of has that hit and then a reverse effect in there. stuff there. Then we have the plucked rays. This is another one of my favorite ones, just because cutoff filter effect here that changes the timbre. Anyways, moving on here, we got tap drum pitched. And this is more of like a percussion instrument, so I'd recommend doing kind of the turn on some reverb here. There we go. And then the next one, you're going to tap just the regular tap drum, which is just going to be more or less just the percussion kind of element to that. So we'll skip that, and then this is those bowed rays again, but now more of a pad element. Long tail on that, and then we're back to oh yeah, I already did the bowed rays, my bad. Oh well, there we go. So that's just a few of those affected NKIs there. So anyways, that is the jug drum. So let's now move on to the tomato paste kalimba. Let's find that over here, and there we go. Let's pull this again. This one has your main patch. Main patches, I should say. There's two main patches, so let me just talk about this real quick. So again, this is a very unique library, as it's a kalimba made from a tomato paste can, as you can see here in the picture. You have control over some basic effects, like the arpeggiator here, as well as an IR presets that you can use that they've created. For this one, we'll just start with kind of the basic instrument first, and then I'll test out some of the IRs that come with it. This again, it comes with some 17 affected patches, and then two main patches. The two main patches are this main kind of hit, and then there's a muted one that I'll show you in a second. You have up to 10 round robin, and yeah, this is a really cool instrument. It's only 260 megabytes in size and only costs $15. So let's take a listen to this guy. I love the bass. There's a lot of low end. It's obviously stretched, but very awesome kind of low end presence. So let's take a listen to, let's see, let's do the main room. We'll test this out. Yeah, definitely. So that kind of gives you the basic idea of the instrument there. Again, you have control over turning the reverb on and off, as well as the round robins, which again are up to 10, which is awesome because that gives you more flexibility with not getting kind of an unrealistic MIDI sound. So let's take a listen to the muted patch here. And yes, we'll test this out. And yeah, kind of a more of a clickety kind of. You could definitely do more rhythmic stuff. We'll, let's test out. So you go, kind of get the idea there. Let's just play with it. Let's do the bar. There you go. Let's take a listen to some of these affected patches. So there's a lot of them here. I'll probably just play a few because you get the idea of kind of how they do these. That's kind of a fun one. Let's do the bowed. I always kind of like the bowed sounds because it's kind of a nice little pad, and there's usually a little swell. Sorry, that's my dog dreaming there in the other room. He's hitting the door, so I apologize for that. Huge low end. Sorry if that popped on you guys. Let's turn this down just a bit. There we go. That sounds nice. There we go. And then we'll go through the... I do like delay patches. There. Like I said, I'm sorry if I get carried away. I find these kind of fun just to play a slightly different delay. Look how kind of distorted that gets there. Let's take this. So the one thing again I gotta mention, when they make these affected patches, a lot of these you could just put in a in a multi, or not necessarily multi, but create a full-on piece of music with just these, which I like. They kind of give you what you need to make music and to kind of make really new, kind of creative and different sounding stuff. especially getting into kind of more of the synth, sound design elements. They kind of hand tailor these to give you a certain character. Which is pretty frickin' cool. Alright, let's take a listen to this guy. And he's a little affected arpeggios. Forever Sustained 1. Let's take a listen to this guy. Just listen to the tail there. This goes on just... Pretty neat. We'll skip that one. We'll go to fragmentation. These are all kind of variations on a simple concept. Sorry, my dog is scratching himself. That's kind of cool. Let's go to Glass Dream here. Now, obviously. It's a beautiful sound. Quit that, buddy. Go lay down. Sorry about that. There we go. So that is the all of the patches there within the tomato paste kalimba. So let's check out the next percussion instrument, which is the Glockenpillar. Let's see if I can find it on here. There we go. And this one again comes with 3 patches. I'll pull up the main one. This is another unique instrument that they've sampled. Like many of their others, you get control over some of the basic effects and IRs, as well as a nice, deeply sampled instrument with 8 round robins. This library comes with 3 different instrument patches that include the main techniques, the muted, and the glissandi samples. This library requires the full version of Kontakt 4.2.4 or higher, and is 300 megabytes installed and only costs $15. So let's take a listen. As you can see, these look familiar, these little kid toys, which is great. And we'll kind of play around with it here. As you can hear, they've included kind of this key sound, which you can turn off there, as well as mess with the release sound effect. And let's see, we'll turn on, let's do the, we can also play with the EQ if we want to. The sustain pedal will make the notes sustain. So let's check out the muted real quick. And, you know, there's nothing really to do with this one. It's just the basic patch that you can add in your own arpeggiator to that. And then we have the glissandi, which again, one-shot samples, which are done by range. There we go. And so that is that instrument. It's, again, very simple. Again, only $15. You get a very unique sound. That's pretty awesome. Let's move on to the Tiny Grand. The Tiny Grand is a library that features a sampled 30-note toy piano with 9 velocity layers and 10 round robin. It's probably one of the only one of its kind that's this deeply sampled, I should say. This library is one of the larger ones in terms of space, as it takes up nearly 4 gigs. But the library itself uses under 400 megabytes of RAM. You have a basic functionality over custom IRs as well as the EQ, much like the previous library. This instrument is for the full version, again, of Kontakt 4.2.4 or higher, and it costs $25. So let's take a listen to this. Again, we have those key lift kind of samples. You can kind of turn those down a little bit on here, but let's see. We can... That's the instrument kind of dry. We can add into a different environment. Let's boost all that up and just wash this out. That's in a basement, which is pretty cool. Again, you're... So there we go. There you have it. That's the Tiny Grand. Simple instrument. Again, not too much. The release is pretty great because you can add in some of the realism if you want of those key releases. I don't know if any of you have played a tiny toy piano like this, but yeah, they're very noisy in how the notes respond to your playing. So again, that is the Tiny Grand. Alright, so next up in this video will be a quick look at their freebies. And I had to actually pick one up today that I didn't have, which was the Atmaraf, I guess. It's a toy. I'll show you that in a little bit, but let's take a look at their intimate strings. Let's see if I can find these here. This was the very first instrument I ever got of theirs. Mainly because it was free and they were new at the time, so they didn't have that many libraries out there. So this instrument's 500 megabytes in size. There's 3 times round robin borrowing. And then there's also the true legato, and then this is 4 players kind of make it up here. And you get 3 patches. One is the legato, which you can actually switch to polyphonic mode. We're going to turn the round robin on. And then there's also a polysordino patch and a polysustain patch. So let's just take a listen to this. I'm using the mod wheel to manipulate dynamics. Let's go to what is that? There we go. Go to poly mode here. Do some pads. So it's a beautiful, simple instrument. Again, I'd say the downsides to this is the lack of range that you get, because they tried to, get it to where all the strings were kind of in the same range. But you can hear where those violins or violas come in. On their website, they do say this is the first of a larger kind of project, and I'm assuming that was the solo strings that they've done. But makes me wonder if they're going to do more of an ensemble library later. I haven't heard any news on that. Let's check out the Poly Sordino patch here. Do have a monophonic. And then we'll do the polysustain. Want to see something here. Yeah, they're basically the same. I guess they made like presets, so you could just pull that up and get the polyphonic. So yeah, there is the intimate strings. Again, only 500 megabytes. It's free. Definitely worth getting if you would like, just a string kind of pad to layer into your music. The next one is the Kanjo, which again, a lot of patches here. I'm going to keep it brief as we're running low on time here. So I'm going to turn this off so we can hear this, but this is basically a string on a piece of wood connected to a steel can or metal can, and they've given you a few articulations: muted, fingered, and picked. You also can adjust where these play within in a velocity range there. And then there's the arpeggio, which is pretty sweet. If you ask me, you can get some really cool effects. We'll do the round robin. Let's put this in the main room here. Kind of looking through here, we've got some other, they have a mezzo piano and a pianissimo articulation patch. Let's throw this one up so you can hear what this sounds like. And then let's go to chop suey. We have, let's see, these are all effects. Let's see, volts rendered. Again, these utilize all of their techniques I've been showing you when they do their effects patches, and you'll kind of start to hear kind of almost the same kind of character as far as what these instruments are doing, and it's pretty cool. Let's turn that off and. That's a fun one. We got Fun with Sticks. Simple transition. Interesting. There you go. So that's a basic, well, let's do one of the delays because I love delay patches. Alright, so there is the Kanjo. The next one is the harmonet. And this one was a freebie that came out around Christmas time. I can't remember, about 2013 maybe. Maybe it was the year before that. I honestly can't remember. But this one is very simple, and they give you all these different kind of presets. Actually, let's do the basic patch here. But sorry, couldn't help myself. But they've got some pretty interesting synth patches that they kind of made with this. I think I actually used this back when it first came out. I was working with a guy in the local area who was making a little video game that for a class, and I wrote a couple pieces of music for that. Just because it kind of had the sound that fit the video game. And then crispy. Let's see, we got. Oh yeah, that was like life aftertouch. Oh yeah, we got the aftertouch. So the harder you press, you get the. You can bring in that effect, which is always nice. The hunker. And then lazy honker. Mini honker. And toot solo. A lot of these, which is great, they actually keep the characteristic of the instrument a little bit. Except for maybe this one. So there you go, that's the harmonet. Again, free instrument. It was a holiday special. It's about 4 octaves in range. You get vibrato and different dynamics in there. There's 11 total instruments, and it's only 32 megabytes in size. So pretty simple tool, pretty awesome. Next is the Atmaraf, I guess. Where is that fella hiding? This was the one I had to pick up today because I didn't realize I didn't have them all. So here it is. Now, this is an interesting instrument. It's, to quote them, it's absurd. And here's why. There you go. It's a toy. And they stretch it up to there. It's gonna sound like people screaming in slow motion. So. And there's round robin, which is great. This one, there's only 2 NKs. There's the other one, where animals go to die. I don't even... oh, God. That's terrifying. So yeah, there's the 2 NKIs. It's only 48 megabytes, and I believe these are an open wave format, so you can, use the samples and just drag them into your session if you want. So there's that one. The next one is the Scorecast Kitchen. And let's see, here we go, the kitchen. This again is a free one, and they've got it broken up into 4 little categories. You get glass bowls, which we'll play with. So, there we go. That's that one. Let's do the next one, which is muted glass bowls. some really interesting stuff with that. And we have unmuted glass bowl. Let's turn. So, very interesting. And then the bowl matrices. Which are pitched there. So then we have the kitchen lamp. We'll throw this on. Now this is actually quite a beautiful instrument. If you can do some intimate stuff with that, which is you know, quite beautiful. Let's turn this on real quick, and we'll do up and down. Here we go. Yeah, pretty sweet sounding. And then the synth lamp. Well, that's awesome. And then we have sparkle. Nice. This is very cinematic type stuff here. Wow, that's really gorgeous. Got a nice kind of body to that. Pretty cool. And then we have Synth Pulse 1. Reminds me of Mass Effect, the first game. Some of the battle music there in that. And then we have Synth Pulse 2. Alright, and so this next one was hilarious when it came out. It came out on April 1st, 2013, I believe, and it is called the Keyboard. And that's exactly what it is. It is, this was an April Fool's joke, and they multi-sampled this M-Audio keyboard here, and this is what you get. You get key press and release. Which is great. And there's also, I don't have these mapped, but the pads. And then these, as well as these instruments. You can also change the different size of the key range, which is hilarious. So again, that's the instrument. Now, what came out of this also were these spin-off patches, where go through these little glitch effects there, gremlins, and then we have Klangfarben saturated. That's interesting. Klangfarben. Pretty cool sound. Revolutions with a Z. Oh, sorry, Retrolutions with a Z. Something like that, right? Several small steps. Pretty cool sound. And then stab distortion one. There we go. After you hold it for a while. That was nice. Wonders of Space. Alright, and then, yeah, that's it. Okay, so next, we have, now this can be, is Arcane. Now Arcane, this is a library that I don't want to spoil how it works for you, other than I'll show you some of the single patches. But if you haven't gotten this one, you need to grab it. It's absolutely brilliant. And here is the original. Okay, so sorry, I'm getting excited. It is half library and half a game, and it features some very elegant animations and sound effects that interact with you as the user as you like manipulate it. It is essentially a video game. And it's quite immersive, for me at least. It was a lot of fun, especially working with it within Kontakt. It's free, and it actually features a demo of their Friedlander violin, which I'm not going to open this patch. These are basically all the sounds that are within it, but they don't have the animations or any of the interactive elements of the game itself. It's 2 gigabytes installed, and it's compatible with the Kontakt 5 player, version 5.4.1 and above. Again, it's worth checking out if you know, just for fun, but also some of these sounds are very inspiring. So I'm going to show you briefly these sounds that you'll find within it. And again, there's animations and movements, and it's visually stunning and a lot of fun to play. But these are the Dungeon Key. So kind of, you know, a little sparkly effect. Then we'll move to the dungeon. So what's great is it's spooky. So there's some sound design elements. I'm hoping that with some of these you're going to build other libraries off of this, from some of this content. Love these sounds. So yeah, you definitely, if you're doing some horror sound effects, want to create something spooky, go for that. So again, I'm skipping the Freelander violin. It's just a demo, and I believe we also have already reviewed it before, so you can check out that review for more information about it. Pretty cool stuff there. So we're going to skip that one because that's part of the game. Go to the seance here. Now this is a pretty cool one. I like this one a lot. It's a little dulcimer. Harder velocity you hit is you'll get like these the Sondies. And they're all kind of random for each note, which is quite freaking cool. Now this one, if you are familiar with, they kind of worked with Mike Green at Realivox, and there's a certain cool element to this one in the game that they didn't include here, but you should definitely, again, check out the game and play through it. I've got these little effects, creepy vocal stuff. So definitely, again, check out this. Just get this and play it and have some fun. Again, these guys have a really good sense of humor and enjoy what they do and love sharing stuff like this. Okay, drum roll, blah, 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 whatever. This is my favorite, and I had to save it for last. It's a $20 library that some may see as a gimmick, but I see it as an inspiration into certain styles of music that just couldn't be recreated with just regular MIDI instruments until now. The Sensual sax. Okay, so I forgot to load this up just to make sure we didn't have any load times, but I'm going to pull up the main patch and let this load up. So it features, in their words, normal and raunchy effects, and it is also it's got one of a kind interface here, and I'll show you in just a second why. It's for the full version of Kontakt 4.2.4 or higher, and it's roughly 260 megabytes in size, and it's $20. They give you polyphonic, staccato, and legato patches. There's information here if you want to read more, as well as you can turn on around. And yes, they have a sex knob. The sex knob is mapped to the your mod wheel, and as you can see, it increases the intensity. Let me just say that again: intensity of the passion behind the player. It also adds reverb and all kinds of stuff. So here's the kind of basic, dry. It's kind of. Now let's start increasing the sex here. Get a little bit of vibrato, a little reverb. You get a little bit more intense. You get a little bit of, that raunchy. Gets a little hotter in here. The sweat starts to build, right? It's getting pretty intense. I might actually have to turn this down just a little bit. You get a little harder, right? And then he goes for that high note and just... it's done. It's over. That's all over with. It's too much sex right there. So, I'm sorry. I'm such a child. But this is hilarious. They've really kind of went all out, and you get the certain kind of 80s little graphic there, and then it just... perfect. So... let's look at the instrument here. Here's the PG version. I love that they called it the PG version. Please don't abuse the sex knob. They had to put the warning because that's quite important. The PG version doesn't say sex. but it gives you just the right amount of Oh, CC11 also does dynamics, so. I love that. And then the other patch here is style buttons, which this is the one I use because sometimes you don't want to use the sensual. I'll just put it this way. So basically now we have vibrato and reverb being manipulated by your mod wheel. But now you can basically always have it in sensual mode where and you can do your own reverb and stuff with that, or you can just put it in straight and, you know, get up the So that is the Sensual saxophone. Again, you can turn around, rub it on. It's got all the basic kind of features of their kind of more inexpensive libraries. But yeah, that is essentially their library. So again, I appreciate you guys watching this. I hope you found this this two-part series useful in checking out their Embertone's more inexpensive, easy on the wallet libraries. They pack a lot of punch. There's so many good ones. A lot of the instruments, or libraries I should say, include effects patches that kind of explore outside the sample content and really embrace the kind of creative side of composing. And really kind of jumpstart a lot of maybe, you know, some of the cues you might start with. So give them a shot, check them out. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day and take care.